functional group. So let's have a look that what does mean by the functional group. So for the introduction we have in the functional group, basically functional group by definition it is an atom or group of atom. So the functional group is an atom or it may be a group of atoms, and these groups of atoms are attached with the R, where R is the alkyl radical, and this group of atoms is responsible for the specific properties. It is responsible for the specific properties of organic compounds. So the functional group, it is an atom or it may be a group of atoms that is attached to the R, where R it is the alkyl radical, and that atom or group of atoms specify the properties of the organic compounds, and this group of atom is called as the functional group. This group of atom is known as the functional group. In other words, we can say that the reactive functional group, it is the reactive portion of the organic compound, or maybe it is the reaction site. It is the reaction site of the organic compound, or it may contain the other elements like oxygen, maybe halogens. It may contain nitrogen and etc. So once if we identify the functional group of an organic compound, we will identify functional group, then we will be able to identify the properties of the compounds, and we will be able to categorize the organic compounds into some specific homologous series. So mainly if we have a look on the functional group of or the organic compound is mainly having two parts. Functional group or the organic compound, it may have two parts or it composed of two parts mainly, and these two parts consist of the first one is the hydrocarbon part. It is known as the hydrocarbon part, and that hydrocarbon part which is we known as alkyl group. It is known as the alkyl group, that is denoted by R, and its second part is known as its functional group that we need to identify. For example, if we are talking about the methanol, methanol, this methanol, the first name meth, it is the alkyl group, alkyl group, and this ol is gonna to show that the hydroxyl group is attached. This is the functional group. So methanol, where methyl group we have CH3 along with it is having the functional group OH. So this name is gonna to be consist of two parts. The first part is of the hydrocarbon part, that is alkyl group denoted by R, and the next we have functional group, that is hydroxyl group OH. Ol is going to show that this is the class of alcohols, alcohols for the specific functional group. Next we have the examples of the functional group. So let's have, there are various types of functional groups we have and many classes. For example, first class we have alcohols, second we have aldehydes, third we have ketones, we have carboxylic acids, we have esters, we have ethers, we have alkyl halides, and we have amines. So there are a lot of functional groups we have that are going to be attached with the hydrocarbon part, and they may specify the properties to the organic compounds. So this is the functional group part, and each these alcohols, aldehydes and ketones have their some specific general formulas. All these compounds they have their specific general formulas. So that now what is the purpose to identify the functional group? So main function for the identification of the functional group that we may be able to categorize all this into the homologous series, and by categorizing into the homologous series we will be able to study their properties in detail. We will be able to identify their properties, and we may be able to categorize in the same part. In this term we may be able to save the time that to study the every alcohol one by one. Besides, we will be able to categorize or identify some functional group, and then we will be able to study their properties in under the one heading. So this is the main purpose for the identification of the functional group. I hope you guys understand about the functional group, and if you have any queries you can ask me about that in the comment section. For that time, have a good day and Allah Hafiz.